Welcome to lesson 4.2. We are going to be graphing rational functions. So the first thing we're going to do is look at this example where you have a function g of x is equal to 4x divided by x minus 3. We're going to use long division to rewrite it. And that's going to be able to tell us a piece of information that we can then use. And then we'll also answer how is the quotient related to just the regular reciprocal function we looked at in the previous lesson. And then we'll sketch the graph. So the first thing we're going to do is long division by dividing the denominator into the numerator. So x minus 3 goes into 4x 4 times, then I multiply. 4 times x is 4x, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. When I subtract, I end up with 12. I'm going to rewrite the denominator, rewrite the remainder as a fraction. So you end up with 4 plus 12 over x minus 3. How is that useful? The 4 is going to be your horizontal shift. So it's going to, I'm sorry, your vertical shift. So it's going to shift it up 4. So if you notice, our horizontal asymptote is at y equals 4. What is happening to the x right on the inside there is going to be your horizontal shift. So that means you're shifting it right 3. That makes the vertical asymptote x equals 3. The number up top here, 12, is going to be what stretches by a factor of 12. Right? So you're stretching this, it's getting higher faster. Actually, probably slower, whatever. And it basically just pulls it right by 12. That part you're not really going to have to worry about as much. It's where are the asymptotes, and then which part of the graph are your functions in. All right, so let's take a look at this example here. I think it makes sense if we do one together, and then you try the next one on your own, and then obviously I'll talk you through it after you give it a try. So the first thing we're going to do is long division with this. So we've got 2x plus 1 divided into 6x. 2x goes into 6x 3 times. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 1 is 3. I subtract. That's 0, and you get negative 3. So the quotient is 3 minus 3 divided by 2x plus 1. Again, that tells us a couple things. First, that 3 here tells us that the whole thing gets shifted up 3. So the horizontal asymptote is now at y equals 3. That's the first part. The denominator tells you what the horizontal shift is. So set 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Subtract 1, you get 2x equal to negative 1. Divide by 2, you get x equals negative 1/2. This is the same thing that happened in the last one. It was just, I think it was like x minus 4 or something, right? So then it was easy just to look at it and say 4. When there's a coefficient, you might want to write it out. If you can do that in your head, that's great. Either way, we got that the vertical asymptote is negative 1/2, meaning we're shifting everything over a half. Notice how this is scaled, right? 2 blocks is, 2 blocks is 1. So that means we're only moving over 1 block because 1 block is a half of a unit. All right, so that's where the asymptotes are. We also need to change the shape, and the reason is because the fraction is negative. So instead of it being in, well, I guess you would consider that the first and the third quadrants, we're going to shift it to the second and the fourth. So this is going to be down here, and this will be up here. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's check out the next one. But again, we shifted that because of the negative there. If that was plus, they would have stayed in those quadrants there. All right. One more example. This one I want you to try. So I'm going to pause it Again, you work it out, you graph it the way you think, and then we can compare. So I did long division. I ended up with 1 plus 6 over x minus 6. Shifted it up 1, so the horizontal asymptote is at y equals 1. Shifted it right 6, so the vertical asymptote is at x minus 6. I did zoom out, right, change the scaling to be 1 block is 1 unit, but it moved it out far enough that I could do it. If you zoomed out a little further, that's cool too. All right, let's look at example 2.